What's up, everybody? I'm currently headed to Milwaukee Airport, getting on a flight to go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to go meet Gary V. This is not the first time that I will be able to meet Gary V. The first time was like super brief. We got this selfie, and that was basically the most one-on-one time I had with him. But he came and spoke to our sales office at the time when I was living in Miami at an inside sales job. And what I want to do, because I'm going to meet Gary V and we'll actually get some one-on-one time, which I'm extremely excited about, is I felt like this would be an appropriate time to kind of explain a little bit of a story on how Gary V actually changed the way that I sell, and I believe made me the top producer in the sales office that I was working in. And so basically, to kind of frame the story, the job position and the role as a salesperson at this particular office I was working in was essentially to make as many phone calls as humanly possible and be absolutely unrelenting, even if a customer is completely not interested. And we embraced this philosophy for some time. And in fact, the group that I used to work for still kind of embraces this philosophy, and that's fine. But really, to kind of give this context, is the day that Gary V kind of walked into our office, I'd kind of been a little bit familiar with him. I'd read Jab, 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 Right Hook. I'd read Crush It. So I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was and kind of like, his process and philosophy and everything. And so right before he walked in, me and the sales team, we were kind of celebrating a little bit, dapping each other up, because one of the sales reps in our team got a cease and desist letter from an attorney of a prospect that we had been calling on so many times that they didn't want us to call anymore, because obviously there was no value there. We were just bugging the person intentionally. And so they sent over the cease and desist, and we were like high-fiving each other. We're like, yeah, man, we're really hustling now. Like, people are sending us cease and desist letters. This is the right thing to do. And that was kind of just the belief that we all kind of had. So literally in that moment in time, while we're all kind of like high-fiving and stuff over the cease and desist letter, Gary V walks in the office with his beanie on and V-neck sweater or whatever. But he addressed our sales team. He was able to speak to our sales team for, 9, 10, 11 minutes. And essentially, the things that he said during this 9, 10, 11 minutes of him talking to the sales team dramatically impacted my understanding of the first part of selling, as far as the sales process is concerned, actually reaching out to somebody, kind of getting their attention and beginning the sales process. Obviously the way that the approach that we were using, of just blowing somebody up, like calling them 15 times a day, like, hey man, just call me back. I got no value for you here. I'm not going to send you an email. I'm not going to check you out on LinkedIn. I'm just going to call you, because sooner or later you're going to pick up the phone. That was our approach at the time. So Gary, he came in, he's like, man, probably back in like the 80s, maybe even the 90s, you get a cease and desist letter, like, yeah, hell yeah, you're crushing it, like, because you're just like, you're taking that level of activity. But today, and this again, about 4 or 5 years ago, he's like, in today's age, at the bare minimum, somebody has a LinkedIn profile. Maybe they got a Twitter feed. Maybe they got, Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And so basically what he was trying to explain is that in today's age, you don't necessarily need to only rely on borderline abusing people by pounding the phones. Maybe there would be some value in learning about what sports team somebody enjoys by visiting their LinkedIn profile. Maybe there's some value in figuring out where they live, or if they're an automotive enthusiast, or enjoy some type of music or something. And so throughout this little chat that Gary V was having, I literally took it to heart, and I was like, yeah, man, that makes like so much more sense. Like, if you could get to know just a couple of affinities or a couple of places of interest with regard to the prospect, then maybe, when they do pick up the phone and I am talking with them, like, maybe like I can talk about those things rather than like, hey man, you want my product? And so I really took this to heart. I really executed on it. And I very quickly became the person that wasn't making as many phone calls. And yeah, I got like reprimanded for that almost daily. And so because I was spending more time, researching customers and actually like learning about them and like trying to follow them on like Twitter and stuff. And so I just missed my turn here at the airport to go park my car. So that gives me more time to explain this. And so basically I became the guy that wasn't making as many phone calls, and I wasn't following the process of which this inside sales team was using to make sales. And so I got reprimanded for that. I got punished for that. I got, chatted with about that I need to just increase activity. Forget the social media thing. Forget your Twitter feed. Forget LinkedIn. Forget Instagram. Forget Facebook. Forget all these different places where you can actually take Gary Vaynerchuk's advice. And so I never really did that. I didn't really correct it. I did stay late almost every day to make more phone calls and show, the metrics and the effort. But it wasn't very long, y'all. It wasn't very long until this researching led to some like messaging over social media, like LinkedIn, like a message or whatever, or just, hey man, I saw your recent blog article, really liked it. Thanks for writing that. And by the way, don't stop making content. I really enjoy it. Just something as organic and like just and simple as that got me in the door with more people faster. And literally by the next year, I had outproduced the entire sales team in sales because I was having more quality conversations in more places with more people and actually creating relationships with people rather than just relying on somebody picking up the phone saying, all right, dude, fine. I respect that you've called me 500 times. What do you got? I didn't want to rely on that anymore. And so Gary Vaynerchuk most definitely influenced a change in perspective for me from a social media standpoint. And as I'm circling the airport here, I'm just really excited to be able to have some one-on-one time with Gary and really pick his brain about some marketing aspects for sales domination system and some branding and some content strategies. So I'm pumped up about it. I think based on what he was able to do for me in 9 minutes down in Miami, I'm really certain that getting a full hour and like a half a day with him and his team, I think is just going to be, I think it's going to be awesome. So Gary, if you ever watch this, if I'm ever big time enough for you to watch a video, I just want to let you know I'm on my come up over here. I'm in the dirt every single day. And just want to say I appreciate you stopping in to that office all those years ago, taking a selfie with me and giving me some insights. I don't know if anybody else actually went ahead and actually, listened to you, but I did, and I appreciate you. Thank you for making me some more money. I'm excited to see you tomorrow. And hopefully I can get a little clip of this on Instagram, maybe even a comment, dude. Come on, help a brother out. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I am going to concentrate on finding a parking spot in the Milwaukee parking garage place. See, that's why I need to pay attention. I almost just got hit. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Talk to you another time. Bye.